Shrek.
the TV almost just broke.
Shrek, and why I think it is
Great.
great.
I can read.
His definition of great.
Of an extent I can't read.
But first, some ground rules.
Okay. Get comfortable, Daffy. We're going to be here for a while.
This is not a trashy 2016 meme video. I truly believe Shrek has some remarkable qualities.
Yeah, we know the dank meme, Shrek.
None of that. Speaking of...
Is that
Oh. Actually, if anyone dares utter the words Shrek is love, Shrek is life, I will turn the car around. And this was supposed to be me warning you. But first, maybe we have some uncultured people amongst us.
Among us.
Resolution, let's watch the entirety of the first film.
No.
Once upon a time, there was a lovely princess.
Only joking. But I will play it on 100 times speed.
No.
Alright, enough of that. So one day I was cleaning out under the stairs, and you know, at the back of the stairs there's this brick wall, and then I picked up an umbrella and tapped the wall in a special sequence, like Hagrid in Diagon Alley.
Because of this.
And then I imagined it opened into this magical fairy tale kingdom wonderland, just like the one in Shrek.
Far, 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 far away.
You know, the land where peasants run around with pitchforks and have the smoothest bowl cuts you've ever seen.
I don't see what's wrong with a haircut like that. I think it's fine.
A land where there's castles and knights and stuff.
That's on the second film.
I just pray that one day I can live in this world and be amongst them all. What was my first Shrek experience? I've always lived amongst Shrek essence. Maybe it's because it came out a whole 3 years before I was born. So whilst I was busy not existing, Shrek was brewing and bubbling in the background, waiting for me to be born so that I could take a big swig of eyeball martini.
Oh, that's nice. Wait, no, you know Chris Whitty. Next slide.
Next slide, please.
Next slide.
Next slide, please.
Next slide, please. But one of my strongest memories is playing the Shrek 2 game on PS2, and it came out the year I was born, so I was destined for it. The amount of nights I sat there replaying the first level over and over again because I never used the memory card. Meaning every time I left the game, it would lose all progress and I'd have to restart. That's the thing though, when you're young, you can play the same thing over and over again until you're Shrek green in the face.
I don't get it.
But all the while completely at peace with it. Compared to now, where I'll open Tetris and I'll go, why am I playing Tetris? And then I'll open Minecraft and I'll go, I played 2,000 hours of this, there's nothing left to do. And then I'll open up Stardew Valley and then I'll just Alt F4 and then I'll just open Overwatch and feel nothing inside.
So what you're saying is Shrek can never compare to these.
That's my point, yeah.
Next slide, please.
Okay, now you know about my Shrek history. It's about time we talk about the film itself, or rather, the biopic of Shrek.
It's actually pronounced biopic.
Oh, is it?
No, it's not.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. It opens with the main man himself in his swamp. He begins the day going to the toilet, then he has a shower, and then he bathes.
Look at the CGI mud.
It's great,
That
isn't
CGI
it? It's
mud.
so good, isn't it?
It's like chocolate.
Then he has a bath, then he brushes his teeth, you know, all the normal stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then he spends the day doing some arts and crafts and stuff.
Whoa.
That's him painting.
I love that he's using his thumb. He's doing that classic artist thing where he uses his thumb.
Yeah. And then it cuts to the end of the day where he's having a bit of food. A bit
Dum,
of
dum,
tucker.
dum.
Munching and chowing down on some
Eyeballs.
food. But oh no! The local village folk are preparing for something. But actually, it turns out they're just drawing pictures of him for fun. And then the village folk walk across the land because they're going somewhere. Where are they going?
The swamp.
The swamp.
My favourite one is that one on the very right.
What? This one?
No.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. I think they must have studied medieval genetics.
Then again, the reason why we think this is how medieval people look is through Shrek. You know the film where the man cooks with a rat, but it's not Ratatouille?
Oh, I love that film. Is he cooks with a mouse?
Maybe. My point is the villager looks like the man from Mouse Hunt. Anyway, whilst they're doing that, Shrek is just at home, chilling, legs up. He's got a nice light on over there.
He has little legs.
You know what? He really
Why does he have little legs?
He really does. But oh no! They're right outside.
Wait, shall I play the music? That's so good.
But then Shrek's like, what's that noise? Little do they know, he's right behind And then he confronts them and he licks his hand and then he goes and he goes and they're like and then he goes, this is the part where you run away.
That bit was...
What were you saying? Anyway, Eddie Murphy,
I don't know why I laughed at that.
starring as Donkey. Any thoughts on that? And then some more stuff happens in the film, and then Shrek sees a sign that says, wanted, fairy tale creatures, reward. Cut to this scene, where all the fairy tale creatures in the land are being gathered up and carted away and being sold for some shillings. Like I said before, introduced to Donkey, she's trying to convince the man that Donkey is magical and that can speak.
This donkey can fly.
No, that's not it.
That's just what she says. No. Wait, she said,
This donkey can talk. I'm a talking donkey. And this is a talking donkey. He can talk.
Anyway,
I'm a talking dog.
you ready? Anyway, some kerfuffling happens and Donkey kicks a jar.
some kerfuff... That's not really...
Anyway, some kerfuffling happens. Donkey kicks a jar with fairies in it, right? And then they send him flying away. And he goes, woo! And the music's like... Da, 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 da,
And then he starts talking.
Da, 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 da. I can fly! And then he's like, he can fly?
So are there animals who can't talk?
Yeah. Could those birds talk? No. Anyway, who does he find? Shrek.
No, look at him.
But at first they're a bit... you
They
know,
don't like each other. Because Donkey is desperate.
and Shrek is not interested.
And Shrek just wants an eyeball teeny.
Anyway, some loads of time passes again, and then the night time comes.
A beautiful ambience to the whole film.
Yeah,
Like the backgrounds.
yeah,
The woodland background.
I know. Anyway, Shrek finds out that all of the fairy tale creatures have been sent to his home.
So did the government do that, or they all come in
Lord
there?
Farquaad. Anyway, Shrek is a very private.
Can you stop saying anyway? It's a bit rude.
Anyway, Shrek is a very private man, and this really annoyed him, seeing all of these people on his land. And he asks one of them, and they're like, what are you doing here? And they were like, Lord Farquaad sent us.
Oh yeah, the three little pigs.
We have been sent here. Shrek realizes that the only way to get rid of all these fairy tale creatures is to travel all the way to Lord Farquaad's house or castle. He lives in a castle. Speaking of the man himself, people in secondary school always used to compare me to him.
Compare you?
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. There's one person in the year above me. They would say it. They'd see me. And they'd say it. And then, after he's bored of that, he started calling me Trevor from GCA. Do I look like Trevor? And the thing is, it wasn't just him. Someone else in his year also said it. They were all just plotting against me.
It's funny that you say that they compared you to Lord Farquaad, because I got compared to the three little pigs.
Anyway, Shrek walks into the castle and is met by loads of knights. And then Lord Farquaad is like, the first one to defeat this ugly beast will be the champion. And then Shrek and Donkey beat them all up.
I don't care.
Shrek and Donkey beat up all the soldiers, and then Lord Farquaad is like, ah yes, you, ogre, save Princess Fiona from the castle. Anyway, why is there a random picture of award-winning actor Octavia Spencer here? Did you mess with my PowerPoint? Anyway, Shrek and Donkey find...
Oh, the volcano. Is it a volcano?
It's a volcano.
No, it's a lava pit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a love of it, I suppose. They go in it and it's like, oh no, it's really scary. And then they find Fiona lying there and she's all put together like...
Well, there's a whole sequence
I don't care.
of
I don't care.
castle
No,
shenanigans.
there's not.
There is a moment in the castle where they open the door and you got the classic door opening sound effect.
Your turn. And then Shrek walks in and then she saves him. And then loads of the film happens. Turns out that Fiona is an ogre at night.
What?
I mean, I skipped past loads of the film. Like, lots of really important character building.
There's people who
and character
worked
development.
on that character development of the film for
I know.
4 years, you know.
Yeah, and then Shrek gives Fiona to Lord Farquaad. And then it's funny because he's really small, and she's like,
He's
"Oh,
doing a
hi."
curtsy. He's
Yeah.
doing a Margaret Thatcher curtsy.
And then they get married.
Well, he tries to.
He tries to, but the old man says,
Does anybody object?
and then Shrek runs in like,
I object.
And then Donkey's outside trying to jump to the window to see in.
and then Shrek and Fiona get separated.
Oh, this bit is devastating. No, because she turns into a Shrek.
she turns into a Shrek.
No, because she does this whole sequence of rising up. Of rising up, right?
Like regeneration.
That moment in the film, I remember watching that being like,
But then they get separated. But Donkey and the dinosaur, what's it called? Dragon.
a dragon.
Donkey and a dragon. And then they save the day. And then they smooch. Hang on. Why is
Wait, give me a sec.
Why is there a picture of award-winning actor Jack Black here?
Wait, can you do it again?
No.
Because I was moving the whole time.
No. That's the end of the film.
What? Well, Farquaad gets eaten
Does he?
by the dragon.
Does he?
Have you not watched the film?
I've never watched it, no. Now that we have a basic premise of the plot, it's about time we get right into the details. The threads that come together and make this a truly brilliant and creatively genius piece of cinema. What? Although I genuinely believe all that, I hate how that sounds, so all in all, it's just a good film. Okay?
It's a great film.
It's a great film. The first topic I want to discuss is the environment, the landscape, the sweet scenes that take place in
Shrek.
For example,
Oh, that is just... Is that a screenshot from the film, the first one? That's beautiful.
environment and art style. The film started production in the late 90s. That is so long ago. Dial up? What even is that? But back then, digital animation was still finding itself. Toy Story
God.
was the first mainstream 3D digital animation, and that only came out 1 year before Shrek.
Buzz looks so weird there.
So considering all of this, Shrek looks great. Da 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 da. He steals from the rich and gives the needy. He takes away percentage.
Yeah, look, in the back there's one with the accordion. That's so good.
And the times where the film doesn't look traditionally good is where the film looks its best. For example, Lord Farquaad's castle, which looks so pathetic that it perfectly represents him. It looks like what a 5-year-old would understand as impressive in Minecraft. Like big and tall equals impressive. That's another Minecraft picture.
Yeah.
Therefore, causing it to barely fit in with the environment.
Yeah, it's...
I mean, look at
it's
it.
a bit of an eyesore, isn't it?
My eyes. They're so sore.
The person who lives in the windmill, they're probably complaining about the...
They're complaining to the council.
I wake up every day and the castle blocks out the sun.
You can also see where he rides around with fake arms and legs.
That's so good. Wait, I never noticed that. Look at his little legs dangling.
Even on the inside of the castle, it keeps the simplicity and it just makes it funny. Just look at that subliminal corner over there. Like there's something really funny about it.
It looks like a PS2 game.
Also the fact that the heart of this magical fairy wonderland world just has a tourist attraction with a sign that says 45-minute wait from here is really funny.
He's a capitalist.
Exactly. The idea that even in the Shrek world they have soulless corporations kind of makes you feel at home, even though it's horrible.
Beautiful.
It just makes you think, oh, well, they have it too. My point is, Shrek really pushed the limits of what was possible at the time. Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Meanwhile, everything outside of the castle is just beautiful, majestic, and picturesque. Or at least for the time it was made, which was so long ago. Like, what even is this?
Wait, why are we talking about that?
It's the 90s. Something they used in the 90s, I
What's that
think.
got to do with Shrek?
Because it was long ago.
Oh.
I think this is also reflective of the rest of the film, where the limitations of the technology led to lots of lower quality textures. Look at Shrek's jacket. Look at that. It's so bad that it's charming. You know what I
That's
mean?
not low quality.
Well,
That's the finest quality. But also, that's the fourth film. That's when they had budget.
and also look at this picture of Shrek's swamp. Like,
Oh.
you might think it's high quality.
Is that after they've all left?
Yeah.
It's very Glastonbury vibe.
It is this. After Glastonbury. But like, you can tell it's like they just got a few assets and then plonked it on. Basically, this all ties into the film, not taking itself too seriously. The more I talk about Shrek, the more I realise that everything just fell into place to make it such a successful film. Like, look at the box office results.
Damn.
Really high.
But Shrek 2 pushed the boundaries.
Yeah.
What about Madagascar?
But
Yeah, for that time, Shrek really pushed the boundary. 'Cause I feel like all of these here, they're thriving off the clout of Shrek.
Exactly. Imagine if Shrek had.
That's crazy.
Imagine if Shrek had the sharpest 8K graphics.
That's crazy.
Imagine if Shrek had the sharpest 8K graphics you've ever seen. Now, grab your elder wands and pretend you're Dumbledore and remove that thought from your mind.
Oh God!
All in all, Shrek is beautiful as it is. Oh wait, this was meant to be before. And finally, if this shot doesn't make you feel perfectly at peace with yourself, leave. Leave.
That's the end right there. That's the end game of life.
Da da da. Scottish representation. As someone with some Scottish heritage, this really hits close to home, as I feel our people are rarely represented with such authenticity and attention to detail.
Wait, who's Scottish in Shrek?
So the fact that they got a Canadian actor to do a Scottish accent to represent an ogre who is described as a big ugly monster,
No.
that's really nice. So DreamWorks, thank you for besmirching the Scottish people. What's besmirch? But it doesn't end there. Shrek's Scottish heritage
That's
is also
good.
perfectly represented in his looks, fitted out with some of the finest tartan you've ever seen, probably handmade by an old lady called Maeve on the Scottish Highlands.
Oh, I like making little shoes. I like making little shoes for Shrek. I'm Scottish. I like making little shoes.
It's also funny seeing how Shrek is the only Scottish speaking character, which immediately makes him stand out, and it's a great contrast to the English speaking villain.
Yeah, there's some subtext there.
The English-Scottish divide. Margaret Thatcher.
We shall fight for freedom.
But remember, if it isn't a Middle Eastern or an Eastern European, the Americans will always paint the British as the villains. Also, the dragon eats Lord Farquaad, but the dragon represents Wales. So maybe it's Wales versus the UK, England. Music and soundtrack.
This is the thing that the film is most known for.
known for. I cannot name another film that uses a perfectly curated soundtrack so effectively.
Oh my god, don't. You scared me and the dog.
I was trying to create emphasis for this man here. Look at the people that still turn up to Smash Mouth's concerts.
Oh, that's amazing. They come out for the concert, right? Curtain opens.
Mhm.
Immediately they're met with those Shrek masks. They go, oh, hello.
What, their dog appears?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
does that. In the beginning, lots of these soundtrack songs were actually used as filler for the animators whilst they were making their own original music. But then with these screenings, the test screenings, they found out the audience actually favoured this.
oh.
Oh. This is me listening to the Shrek soundtrack. That's how good it is.
That's nice, isn't it?
To emphasise my love for the soundtrack, it was on my Spotify Wraps. Not once, but twice.
That means that's your 5th most played song of the year.
Right from the beginning, we are drawn in with this typical fairy tale style soundtrack that you could see in any other film, such as Enter the Woods.
I'm going to grandmother's house.
Into the woods with grandmother's house.
I'm going to grandmother's house.
It's an alright, but it wasn't quite because I caught him in the autumn and I got him one night.
Basically, it copied Shrek, is what I'm saying.
Well, it's based on a 80s musical.
No, it's not.
I'm going to grandmother's house.
Into the woods with grandmother's house.
These composers also did Narnia and
No.
How to Train Your Dragon. And if that isn't telling of the quality we're working with here, then I don't know what to tell you.
You don't know what to tell me.
I don't know what to tell you. Topic change, changing topic
What?
to the gold humour.
Gold humour?
The humour that's so good that it's gold. At first I was going to list out all of the things I found funny, but then I realised that's annoying. Like, I'm not going to be here like, oh, the bit where Shrek does this to Fiona. Like, oh, that's... See, now that's less funny, because I
No,
pointed
it's funny.
out.
Look at her.
Oh, well, in my PowerPoint, it says that it is less funny, so pretend that it is less funny.
Oh, that's not funny.
Yeah. And the scene where he gets off the horse and he's really small, that used to be funny, but now that I pointed it out, it's not funny.
No, I still find it funny.
Overall, the film is funny, it's self-aware, bing, bang, bong. Oh, and the main character's green. Oh, and there's a donkey, and there's these people. That's funny. And there's a lady dragon, and the frog goes.
Wait, no, look at the frog's expression.
Yeah. It's like. This is the section where I unironically talk about the genre complexities of the film and how it subverts genre expectations to an unprecedented degree.
What?
Fairy tale, fantasy, comedy, animation, but more.
How can there be more?
Why do Gen Z like Shrek?
Why do gens like Shrek?
Well, the answer to that is irreverent humour. It means showing a lack of respect for people or things that are generally taken seriously. Pop culture references.
Because the thing is, with the film, it came after the kind of Disney golden age. So it was like a postmodern reading of Disney. Because they're
Like, yeah.
so this comes after a time where the Disney brand is already established, you know.
Yeah, that's it. That's why it's funny.
Another pop culture reference is when Fiona does her kick in the air, and it's like, oh! How did you know I was going to say that? That's The Matrix.
And then there's references to the real human world. For example, Lord Farquaad watching TV.
He's watching it like it's a dating show, isn't he, with the princesses.
And he's got his modern day cocktail. He's got his like classy but tacky looking furniture. It's just really funny.
Imagine being the animator who had to animate his chest hair. My name's Darren. I've spent the past year animating the individual hairs on his chest.
It took 30 years to render.
And then in contrast, Shrek is just lying down like he's in an IKEA home with his lamp. Shrek just subverted all genre expectations, did its own thing. Then after Shrek did all this stuff with pop culture references, irreverent humour, the rest of the film industry realised they also had to be self-aware, have perfect comedic timing, and must include 300 pop culture references. Otherwise, it is cringe. Overall, Shrek is, dare I say, postmodern.
The postmodern Shrek.
But erase that from your memory because I don't want that horrible film theory terminology.
Why not?
Because it doesn't belong in Shrek. My point is, this is not Pulp Fiction, you know?
Oh, God. Get that off the screen.
In conclusion, you're watching this to understand your love for the film, or maybe to understand why people like it. Or maybe because you're compelled by my online persona. Or maybe I've forced you to be here. And don't let the mainstreamness of the film put you down. Yeah, there's this film by Workstream about this orange troll called Nimbletoes, and he has to save Princess Neona from a bungalow. The whole point is that the film is very mainstream on purpose, to subvert your expectations, and makes no pop culture references because of that.
No.
Which I think's really original, so yeah.
Yeah, it's like mainstream, like on purpose.
You cannot rate Shrek. Shrek rates you. Look at him. You cannot rate that thing. Thank you for listening. You're dismissed. That's it. That's the video. That's all the slides.
What?
That's all of them.
Well, I can leave.
You don't have to be so hasty about it.
Like and describe.
Like and describe. Oh, it would be nicer to reach a more round number on the video. Let me just speak to you for a moment. How's your day? Did you like the video? Did you learn anything? Did you discover anything? Did anything become known to you? How was your day?
Next slide, please.